President Obama strongly hinting that he may try to use that dough and juice up the job market. But shouldn't he just give the money back to taxpayers and maybe pay down some of that massive debt? Republican Senator Mike Crapo of Indiana couldn't agree more. Senator, welcome to the show. I know that you're really, I'm sorry, of Idaho. I'm sorry about that. I know that this is something that you're really passionate about because you didn't even believe in the TARP plan to begin with.
That's true. The administration has followed a policy of bailouts, stimulus, spending ourselves into prosperity since the outset, and it hasn't worked. Now that they have not spent all of the TARP money, the proposal is to take that money and yet once again push it into a new spending program that hasn't even yet been identified and try to once more spend ourselves into prosperity. What we need to do is to have that TARP money repaid to the Treasury as it was intended to be, used to pay down the national debt, and then we need to use proper tax policy to reduce taxes. Let the small businesses of this country and the large businesses start generating economic activity.
Senator Crapo, what are the proper tax policies?
Well, right now what we see is a phenomenal assault on business. The notion of spending ourselves into prosperity is bad enough, but when you increase tax on any activity, you make less of it. And what we are doing is taxing the activity of making jobs. We need to start having things like incentives for capital transactions. We need to start creating opportunities for businesses to be able to expand and explore new entrepreneurial ideas. But instead, we tax those activities, and that's the wrong direction.
You know, someone watching this show right now, one of the 26, 27 million people who's either unemployed, underemployed, or just plain given up, to them, using that TARP money to help them get a job sounds really good. How do you tell that particular person, and there's millions of them, that that's a really bad idea?
Well, first and foremost, you have to discuss what is it that generates jobs in an economy. Is it the government? Is the government the creator of jobs? Or is it private sector, businesses, and people who are able to go out and invest capital and generate activity in the economy? And it's the latter. And the notion that the government is the creator of jobs is what is behind this policy of spending ourselves into prosperity. It's what's caused us now to have deficits of over $1 trillion a year projected over the next 10 years, driving up our national debt and dragging down the economy. What we say to those who want jobs is let us take the shackles off of business, take the shackles off of the economy and the private sector, and stop driving up that national debt and those deficits to a point where our economy simply can't sustain it any longer.
Some people say, though, that when President Bush was in office, one of the mantras of the Republican Party was that deficits didn't matter. And now all of a sudden this president's trying to spend money that he has available, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm not one who said that. I've never said that. And I don't believe that really was a mantra of the Republican Party. What the Republican Party, or some of them in it, were trying to say is that we need to control the deficit and recognize what the proper balance between federal debt and the national debt and the economy must be. But I believe that all along, many of us have been fighting for the kinds of tax policies that will help to stimulate the economy. And you asked earlier, what should those be? Look at the 2001 and 2003 tax policies that were enacted. The economy rebounded and got strong following those tax policies. And what were they? They were reductions of taxes on individuals as well as small businesses, and incentives for the creation of and use of capital in the investment in the economy. That's the kind of thing that we need to watch happen now. And instead, what do we see? Those very tax policies are threatened to be allowed to expire. And we have yet over $500 billion of new taxes proposed in this health care bill alone that will continue to drag on the economy.
That's a great point. I do remember 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, U.S. tax receipts went up even though taxes went down. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate your time.
That's exactly right.
Thank you very much. Great points. Senator Crapo.